Welcome to the Bold Goal Crusher podcast. For anyone looking to stop letting life get in the way and start crushing bold goals. I'm your host, Sara Mayer, and I'm thrilled to navigate this journey with you because it's time to start boldly achieving without working double time. So let's dive in. Hello, Bold Goal Crushers. Today we are going to talk about starting over from scratch. I know many of you are high achievers and you're used to accomplishing lots of things. Maybe you've maxed out bonus every year in your career. You've received a promotion every year, but you may not be doing something that you truly are loving. And so you may have decided to start a side hustle, or maybe recently left your job and you are looking to do something different. And I'm here to tell you, I did that. It's not easy. And what is one of the most difficult parts, it's going from being an expert, maybe somebody that everybody looked to at work for answering questions, to going back to being a beginner. That's not hard. And when you start over from the beginning, it can be exciting at first, but then there's obstacles and things that get in the way. And also, if you're starting your own thing, you may have gone from an environment where you have a team to having no one. I know that was my experience. I had a team of people that were around me, cheering me on, but also helping to implement the wild ideas that I had. And my first year in business, for the first, 6 months, it was just me. So when I had a wild and crazy idea, there was no one there to implement that. Or when I had an idea but needed marketing help, I was the marketing help. So starting over from scratch can be challenging, frustrating, and that's why a lot of people actually end up quitting really early. And I'm a big proponent of coaching and consulting and getting resources, courses, buying resources and tools. But there comes a point where you actually have to implement the learning. And so a lot of times people are early consumers of a lot of different content, but what fails to happen is they actually make that jump to going and implementing the thing that they just learned. So here are some tips for a fresh start. First off, sometimes there's a need for a fresh start. So it could be a career change, relationship ending, personal growth, starting a business, realizing that you're not living your life's purpose or how you truly want to live. And it's important that you do take that jump and take that fresh start, but you also need to go through some things. So first, you need to let go of the past. So there is emotional baggage a little bit that does really hold you back from moving forward. And it can hinder that fresh start. So here are some things. You need to let go of past regrets, failures, grudges. You need to really come at this from a learning mindset and a growth mindset of what are you looking to learn? How are you going to grow? And there are many people that lose their jobs and are starting over or just realize that they were on the wrong path. Maybe they always wanted to be a doctor, but they're not really sure why they always wanted to be a doctor, but their true calling is something else. So it's really important to create a vision for your new beginning. So, what do you want your new beginning to look like? How do you want it to feel? And why do you want that fresh start to be different than your past? And then it's important to set some clear goals. So, of course, you want to set goals for what you're looking for, but you also want to be careful about comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 30 or 50 or 60. It's real easy to get online and say, oh, here's my fresh start. I'm doing this and I want to be in this place. But you're looking at somebody who's been working at it for 12 years or 15 years or you don't see their whole backstory and what they've overcome. So it's really important to be realistic about the goals you set. I'm a big fan of visualizing and manifesting what you're looking for. So I encourage you to create a visual. Now, I know many of you have been to my vision board workshops, and I don't like to just go open the magazine and pick things out. I think you should be purposeful about what images you put on the board. So define your goals first, and then go find an image or jump in Canva and recreate what that image would look like. And now it's really time to plan and take action. So, as you're talking about your new start, you need to create the action steps to actually get there. And many times there are going to be need to be people that you connect with. You might need a coach or a consultant. But it's really important that when you consume that content that you then go take action on it. So, taking a 1 hour workshop, then what is the action you're going to take for the next hour? Don't let time lapse between when you consume the content and when you implement the content. And just a word of caution from my experience, there are so many things you can learn. You don't have to do it all. Think about one thing, learn it, and implement it well. That is one of the things that when working with clients, I've found is that they consume a lot and they have lots of ideas, but they actually haven't ever launched whatever the first idea was. And now, as you get into really building this fresh start, there are going to be obstacles, and it's important to stay resilient. So many times when people start over, they miss components of their old life, or they run out of money quickly, or they might not have support from others, or they don't have the structure that they had in their company. And so they end up wasting a lot of time or not really focusing in on it the way they would if they were in a work and regulated environment. I know one of the other things for me is a lot of the work that I was doing was deadline driven, and those deadlines were set by other people. And when I became a sole entrepreneur, I had to set those deadlines and meet those deadlines for myself. So just know that there will be some challenges. And some of the strategies I have for this to overcome them are to create the schedule and the habits and to regularly check in on how are you doing with this? And how is that going to fit in with what you're doing? And many of you have worked with me before that I will say this many times that there is no one out there that hasn't done what you are trying to do. And so just know that you probably need to build a support system. Maybe it's an accountability group, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a consultant, but make sure that those people are complementary to the journey that you're on. They're not adding stuff that you're not working on doing, because there is a thing about being overcoached. Bold goal crushers. I wanted to pop in here really quick because if you are thinking about creating a digital course or an asset that you can sell over and over again, I encourage you to check out Digital Course Academy that is provided by my mentor, Amy Porterfield. For some of you, you may know I've had 700 students in my course, the Bold Goal Crusher course, and that's all because of the guidance from Amy Porterfield. I have a digital asset that I can sell over and over again. And really cool, you can get into DCA right now with my bonuses. So check out saramayer.com/AmyDCA. Again, saramayer.com/AmyDCA. And just so you know, the cart closes in 2 days. So jump in there today, connect with me if you're interested. I look forward to seeing you create your own digital asset like a digital course. Your network is so important as you start to think about people who can help you. Make sure they're like-minded individuals and make sure that they understand your goals. Now, one of the other things is to really utilize available resources. When you move into something new, You may not have the resources that you used to have, especially if you're moving from a corporate environment to sole entrepreneur environment. So for example, you might not even just have a stapler on your desk, but there are lots of resources, books, courses that you could use, bundles, online communities, Facebook groups. And I think one of the things to remember is as you're gathering these resources, you may come across things that are really interesting to you that are not at the right time for you. So I had a notebook that had a title on the front cover. I wrote Someday Maybe. And I also have an Asana board like that if you are digital and keep your task list there. But it's a great way to collect the information so that later when you're ready for it, you can find that great tool. Just know that there are so many resources, podcasts included, that can help you to really start over. But the biggest step in starting over is the mindset shift. It's the shift that you are doing something new. And it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to not be a high achiever. It's okay to accept coaching and help. And it's okay to not have everything figured out. I look forward to seeing you crush your goals this year. Thank you for tuning in to the Bold Goal Crusher podcast, where we crush goals and everything that gets in the way. I always love to support my community. I look forward to seeing you crush your goals this year.